Hello everyone and welcome to another video. How is everyone doing and how was your start of the week? I hope you are all having a great Monday, or whichever day this video is posted. In today's video, I decided to switch it up a little bit. Instead of starting with a typical AP scaling item, we are going to start with the usual Sunderer Sky, since this item has proven throughout previous patches to be the highest win rate first item on Volibear, but sadly not the best item if the game lingers into the late game. In my opinion, this item is both good and bad for Volibear. It gives us almost everything we need except for two things that I value more: attack speed and ability power. The fact that every bite and auto attack gives you the ability to heal a percentage of your AD is a great deal for Volibear. It's like having a suboptimal bite while you are waiting for your original bite. However, the smaller components of this item are so bad. The only way I feel this item is worth it is if you can have meaningful subcomponents. For example, your healing is increased by 4% with the screwdriver components they gave us, or anything meaningful until you get your full item. In this game, we are going against a composition mainly made up of heavy damage champions. All the champions we are facing today don't mess around when it comes to dealing heavy damage. They don't have heavy CC, so this game will be good for Volibear. But if we don't keep tabs on our position, we might get pushed in the face and perhaps one-shot before we can do any meaningful damage. After our successful early game gank, the game went smoothly in our favor. Jungle-wise, we are fine, but our laners are losing hard, but we managed to farm very well. Graves also didn't try to invade us, and the only one winning by a large margin is Aatrox against Gangplank. Besides having a peaceful early game in the jungle, nothing else was particularly going in our favor. In situations like this, if you don't do anything meaningful very fast, you will have a hard mid-game. You get only 3 main objectives around topside: the first grubs, the second grubs, and Herald. After the mid-game, you should focus on getting drakes. Giving up the first drake or the second drake can be okay if you are guaranteed to get the 6 grubs buffs and the Herald buff. In some scenarios, if you have a tempting drake such as Hextech Drake or Chem Drake, you can give up one. You can't give up 2 grub spawns because in some games, you don't know who you are playing with. Making multiple routes to your victory is crucial when we are talking about Plat or Emerald ELO. Having one plan will always backfire. It is rare to make one plan and see it work at all stages of the game, since the level of tilt endurance in this ELO is very low, and I assume after Emerald it will only go lower. For example, if we plan to gank top side, that plan will work 90% of the time in the early game, assuming we have an above average top laner. Until the mid game we are fine, but once we hit the mid game, we will meet as a team. That's when you can see the stupid, the retarded, the one who's playing with his feet, and the one who is AFK most of the game. Then you decide to switch your focus. Even if your top laner is doing well, he is a big boy now and should carry by himself. That is when you should switch and either focus on your AD carry or mid laner. Most mid laners are stupid this season. There is nothing we can do about it. In my previous games, only 2 out of 10 are viable, reliable players. The rest are simply copycats who think they are faker. They don't have the skill, the patience, and they can't carry for shit. AD carries are worse than mid laners. But that role is so broken that the moment you reach the late game, if you can drag the attention from your AD carry to yourself for at least 5 seconds, and if that carry is loaded with items, he will carry even if he can't aim for shit. So, our main goal right now is to make sure that Aatrox is having a luxurious life on the top side, try to distribute our lead into other lanes, and hope for the best. We managed to be a force to be reckoned with, and this game we are building properly. There is no experimenting. Let's hope our plan will succeed, and there are no surprises. So far, I feel our mid laner is someone who either bought his account from eBay, suffers from color blindness, or doesn't have hands, or anything remotely showing that the player is normal. But that shouldn't hold us back into complaining about the situation. There is a huge difference between describing what's going on and complaining. When you describe something, you are aware of its impact on you, and you try to be better and find other alternatives. For example, my whole goal in this game is to create a final boss champion, either myself or the top laner. Sit that person free into a side lane. Let the enemy face that monstrous champion. We will scavenge around, get any objectives, clean the map of resources, and build a lead for ourselves. Then, if we are lucky, we will delete down a complete lane while the enemy is distracted by our fed top laner. This is my ideal goal in every game. This goal is effective because if you have an above average top laner, he will at least win the 1v1, maybe throw a bonus and win the 1v2. and even if he dies, he will drag 3 people with him. This is my prize when I camp the top lane. On the other hand, we will get the Drakes, the blue buff, the red buff, the farm, and we will kill the leftovers. Sounds terrific, but what happens is that your allies are almost as if they are under hypnosis, which is acceptable because most of the players around the time I play are someone like me. Spend a whole day at work doing other things with their family. They can only play from 2 to 3 games per day, hence we are all playing with around 5% of our capacity. Hence, if I have spare energy, I shouldn't flame others because you can't always get what you want in the game. You can only work with what you have. So after some back and forth, it seems that bot side are playing around me, which is good. I would stop talking about that player because only remembering his path and his location around objectives will make me mad. So the plan was going okay, even though we are losing in kills. But we are gaining in pressure and towers. You should not let the score control you. There is a hidden score, and if you press tab, you can simply count the number of towers that you have against the number of towers that the enemy has. And if it is superior, it doesn't matter the gold difference. It shows that at that moment in the game, at 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the enemy team can't push. They only kill, and with each kill, they don't have the resources to push. Hence, you are winning by dying. That is a huge power. And before the enemy realizes, you will be at their nexus taking the victory. You should not tilt and should not flame, and if you flame, always flame in a constructive way. So say something flagrant to shock the enemy and get their attention. Then say, "Dude, do this. We are winning by pushing towers, not by killing. So stop dying. Come with us, we are going to do this objective." And so on. If they don't follow or don't listen, ignore them. If you reach that stage of the game without their help, and with them playing badly, the only thing you can do is be patient and wait for the opportunity that will set your team and align them with your vision of victory. Then the game will go smoothly with minimal effort from your side. So as the game progresses, I started feeling the lack of the build's potential to carry in duels. In other words, I can't match against any of the enemy team in a duel unless we reach our 4th item, and that will be something like Randuin's Omen into Riftmaker. Hence, I will be only building to face one type of champions, and I will forsake all hope to mitigate ability damage and only focus on physical damage. But another me is telling me, well, if your build is shit, go for Navori. At least you can stall and 2 stuns are better than 1. But with Graves, at a certain point in the game, he would start one-shotting anyone with 4 auto attacks, and then you most likely will be looking at a gray screen. So, yeah, with this in mind, it is always hard to build against a full damage composition. And since the game is stuck at a bottleneck, I said, well, let's use our backward strategy and play backward. In other words, we engage, set up the field grounds of the team fight, do 1 stun, 1 bite, and disengage. So what will happen is that the enemy will chase you to finish the kill, and that distraction will create a moment of hesitation that will give your team the edge over the fight. And if they are smart and you are lucky, even at your own demise, you set up the perfect team fight positioning for your team without them knowing. This works against heavy damage compositions with somewhat sustain or mobility, or just pure damage that you can't deal with. For example, Graves, Nyla, Vayne can simply destroy you if you are not supremely ahead. Well, if you look at the scoreboard, they have the better individual players. The only downside they have is Gangplank, and it is always better to have a fight with 1 less enemy, even if it is bad player. So, after killing Gangplank, it is time to fight. Sadly, we don't have a reliable mid laner to ping him to split push. And the only thing that I have at my own disposal right now is my lovely bear. And if you look at the score, their carries are Lucian and Graves in principle. If we manage to kill any one of these 2 champions, specifically Graves, I am sure that my team will manage to clean up the rest. And in this situation, if you find yourself trading with a high valuable target, imagine yourself picking Mordekaiser, inting your way into the late game. Then, with the recent changes, build Guardian Angel with Zhonya's. You pick the highest valuable target of the enemy team. You take them to Brazil. Once you ultimate them, you press Zhonya's. Once you come out with Zhonya's, if they kill you, you will get revived by the GA. And just like that, you survived in your own realm while denying the enemy team 1 champion for 7 seconds. And you created the perfect 4v4 since you took the one with the most gold in their team with the least valuable player in your team. In this example, yourself. And in the same strategy, we traded ourselves with Graves, and that created for our team the perfect final play to end the game. And with this, my dear viewers, our time together has reached an end. Make sure to leave a like, Share with us your valuable experience with the bear, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Take care until the next one. Peace.